In this video, I want to show you how you can go from getting a product requirement doc to a design and to actually coding it with Copilot Agent. So the first thing we're going to do is to get a PRD or a product requirement doc for the landing page. And I just did this with Copilot on github.com. I said, describe a landing page for developers in simple terms. And I got a really good description here of what a landing page for a developer could look like, right? Nothing very specific, but this is good enough for us. So then I'm going to take this product requirement doc. So I'm going to copy everything here. And I already did this. I copied it, I fed it into Claude, and I said, please design a UI for me. And this is what Claude gave me with that one single prompt with the PRD. And as you can see, this website is looking pretty good. It's well designed, well formatted, and so we're going to run with it. So the next thing I did was to create a repository. I have this repository open with an Astro project. I like using Astro because it's great, it's performant, it's fast. And so let's keep building. So I have the server running here, as you can see, and there is nothing in here. So I have the welcome component. I have index.astro, which is serving the welcome page. And then the layout is just a basic layout. I did add Tailwind CSS in here. I did add Tailwind and React because those are the two tools that I want to use. So let's actually get building with GitHub Copilot Agent. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to click Open Edits. Then I'm going to choose Agent Mode, which was already chosen. And of course, I'm going to choose Claude 3.5 Sonnet. Now that we have Agent Mode open, I'm going to go back to the design and I'm going to take a screenshot, right? So we're going to build this by just taking screenshots of different sections of the design with GitHub Copilot. So we're going to start with the navigation and the hero section here. So I am going to capture the screenshot, go here and pop this here into Copilot Agent mode. I like to always open up the file that I want it to edit just so it has the context of that file ready to go. And I'm going to say update index.astro to reflect the attached design, add a new nav bar and a hero section to start the landing page. Nothing too crazy. This is how I naturally speak. So I'm going to send that in and see what we get. All right. So of course, it'd start by saying, I'll help you design, update index.astro to match the design. Let me first search for any existing components that we can use. And I love this. So it's going to go in, it's going to search the code base for a navbar component, header and navbar navigation. And then it's going to see that, oh, wait, you don't have that, right? And then it's going to give that to us. All right. So you can see that it created a new navbar.astro file here. And let me just close that so we have some space. It created a new navbar.astro file here, nothing crazy. And then it also gave us hero.astro file, which is great here. And then it updated the index.astro file with all those changes. So navbar.astro, just basic HTML tags with the Tailwind styles, as I have Tailwind like I mentioned earlier. So let's take a look at what the web page looks like now. Awesome. And so from that one design, we have this web page. And it's starting to already shape up to be pretty good. Of course, the background isn't purple and we don't have this image on the side, but we can always go in and update it later on. Let's keep going to build out the rest of the page, and then we'll go back and make those edits. So the next section we want to build is this build for developers by developers section. And so I'm just going to take another screenshot here and I am going to, again, pop it in here and I'm going to say, actually, let's do a commit because when you're working with AI, it's very important to commit your work as you go. So I'm going to go in here and say, add a new section to the landing page called, I don't know, by developers and follow the attached design. And we'll just wait to see what we get back from Copilot. And another way to make Copilot and especially Copilot Agent more performant, is to add Copilot instructions. So while we wait, let me show you more about Copilot instructions. So we can add custom instructions just so Copilot performs better. I notice that sometimes if there are no custom instructions, it doesn't do as well. So I can come back here to GitHub Copilot, and I'm going to switch the model to, again, 3.5 Sonnet. I love using Claude for most things. And I'm going to say, please create a custom Copilot instructions doc that I can add to my code editor to inform the LLM of what we're building. I'm using Astro with React and Tailwind CSS. And this is all live, so if it doesn't work, you will be the first to see. So I'll help you create a custom Copilot instruction document that will help the LLM understand your project's context and provide better suggestions. Let me call the skill tool to organize our approach. Great. So this is an Astro project that uses React components and Tailwind CSS for styling. Awesome. It's already starting to look great. So I like to use LLMs to just create the documentation that we need. And now we're going to take a look at why that request failed. But first, let's create a new folder called, what's going on? Let's create a new folder called .github. And then let's create a new file called Copilot instructions.md. And we're going to go back to here and let's see what we got. So this is an Astro project using React components and Tailwind for styling. When making suggestions, please consider the following framework-specific details and conventions. Astro v4, Tailwind as a React UI library, Tailwind for styling, TypeScript for type safety. Amazing. Use Astro extension, follow kebab case, da-da-da-da-da-da. This is actually really good, right? So let's copy these instructions and let's add it to Copilot instructions.md. And I believe we're using Astro v5, but let me double check first. So we are using Astro v4. Oh no, that's Astro React v4. So we're using Astro v5 here. So let's just update that to say Astro v5.x, React as a UI library, Tailwind CSS for styling. And we're using Tailwind v4 for styling. I'm just going to put v4 in brackets. And that's our custom Copilot instruction. So now every time Copilot agent goes in to make changes, it's going to reference these instructions to make sure it's following the standards that we want. Great. So now let's take a look at why this request failed. So it says, sorry, your request failed. Please try again. So I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to send it again, right? So I'm going to remove the failed request from the context window. I'm going to pop the prompt there and grab another screenshot. When things fail, never fail, just try again, keep iterating. And let's send the prompt again and see what we get. And now I will show you here, now that we have our custom instructions, Copilot is referencing these instructions here when it's building our components and building our application, which is excellent. That's exactly what we want. So I'll help you create the by developers section. I probably could have named this component better, but we're just going to go with it. So it updated our index.astro file. Here is the brand new by developer component. And I love that it put this features section in a nicely formatted array. That's great because this is very manageable and we could even move this to an external file if we wanted to keep that separate. It's using properly formatted section tags, which is great. So it's mapping over the features to display them and using the Tailwind CSS styling. All right, what else did you do? So it added the components and then it updated index.astro. Amazing. So the component have been created and added successfully with no errors and da-da-da-da. Great. Oops. So let's check out what we have now. Let's go here. And now I'm just going to zoom out a little bit so we can see better. Awesome. And now we have built for developers by developers. Look at this, properly formatted, we did it. You see that? It's following the design that we gave it. And I actually love that it added these emojis. I personally love emojis, but you can see that it's following the design patterns, and even the language that is designed is on the landing page. And look at that. We're almost finished already. And I don't even mind that the image isn't on the side here. So that's something we can do later. But now we have built for developers by developers. So let's just keep going, right? So I'm actually going to zoom out so I can get a full screenshot here. Or let's actually go to the inspect tool and let's get a screenshot of the next section. So before that, as you go, always commit your work. I'm seeing too many people losing their work when they're working with models when coding. So always commit your work. It's as simple as that. Click the stage changes button, and then click the sparkle icon in VS Code, and you will get a commit message. I would personally never write a commit message this long, but this long commit message has saved my behind more times than I would like to admit. All right, so let's do the next section, right? So again, this is just going from design to code with GitHub Copilot agent. And now that we're in the inspect tool, we don't have to take such a wide screenshot. And we're going to capture that. Going to go here. We're going to attach it. Now add the next section on the landing page. And what is this section called? Let's see. Simple, powerful API development. So we can just call this like API development section. Don't follow my component naming system. So at the next section on the landing page, API develop. Sometimes typing is hard. Following the design. And that's it. And let's let it do its thing. And I'm curious to see what it does for that code section, but let's give it a go and see. So again, it's using these Copilot instructions as a reference here, and the screenshot that we gave it as a reference. So let's see what our agent gives us. And while we wait, so I personally enjoy using Claude 3.5 Sonnet. I don't really use Claude 3.7 because I find 3.7 to be a bit verbose, and sometimes it's just over enthusiastic and it does a bit too much for me. So I've been sticking around with Claude 3.5, but I would love to know what you have been using. Amazing. So now we have API development.astro, right? We have, our interface, set up some tabs. So it said it create a development section for different code examples. So it got that context from the image to know that there are code examples with different API types. That is so good. And then it updated, of course, index.astro to serve the component on the web. So let me check any errors in any of the added code. It says it didn't see anything. I'm going to hit keep and let's go to the landing page. And there we go. Oh my goodness. I had no faith in GitHub Copilot. Look at this. Now we can click each type and it has code samples. So that's what those code samples were that I thought were commented out. These are code samples for the different tabs. Oh my goodness, I am so impressed. I'm not even gonna lie. So I didn't practice doing this. I'm just doing this live for you right now. So this is amazing. So now we have code samples here. And of course you can go in and you make these code samples look more like prettier. But looking at the design, this is what we have, right? This is exactly what we have. It's missing these 3 tabs, but that's fine. On the design, we weren't even able to click anything, but it did that intuitively. So let's keep going on our landing page because we are almost done. So now let's do the powerful dashboard section. And I'm curious to see if Copilot will actually add a dashboard here or just do the 1200 by 600 image here that we have. So let's keep iterating. And as usual, we're going to go here and we're going to stage our changes and we're going to commit our changes. Stage and commit. All right, so let's add the next section. So let me make sure to give it some space so it doesn't do anything crazy. So now we're going to add the dashboard management section. Listen, this is what I'm calling the components, all right? So we're going to say, now add the dashboard management section on the landing page based on the design. If you notice, I'm always saying based on the design. I know it's going to get the context of the design, but I just want to make sure I'm explicit in my prompts. And even if we look at the formatting of this code, it's beautifully formatted. You know what I'm saying? It's really good. What do you think? Let me know what you think. So now we have the dashboard management component here. Dashboard management.astro. Got some features, real-time metrics, request explorer, team collaboration. And we got our paragraph, we got the preview going. Awesome. So the code has been updated or added with no errors. The dashboard management section follows the provided design. Currently, there is a placeholder for the dashboard preview image. Yes, there is. If you'd like to add a specific dashboard image to a component, you can provide one and I can help integrate it into the design. Well, thank you. That is so kind. Thank you for giving me that direction. Would you like me to make any adjustment to the layout or add a specific dashboard image to the section? So let's hit keep and let's go to our landing page and see what we have. So here is the section. Look at this dashboard preview. Look at that. Beautiful. So what if we take a screenshot of our editor and use that as the dashboard preview section? Let's just see, because I don't have a dashboard preview image. So I can say I have attached the image for the dashboard preview section. Please add. Let's see. I didn't do a commit, so we may have to start over, but hopefully not. So let's see what we have. This is fun. I don't know if you're having fun, but I'm having a lot of fun. So first, I'll check if we have the dashboard image in our assets. We don't have it in our assets. Are you going to save it? Let's see. I noticed we don't have the dashboard preview image in our assets yet. First, we'll need to save the image from design to our project. The best place for this would be source assets folder. So you didn't save it. That's okay. Once you add the image file to the assets folder, the dashboard preview section will be complete. And let me know if you need any adjustments to the styling or layout. Oh, so dashboard preview.png. So where's that image that I uploaded? Let's see. If I copy the image, will it paste it here? Yes, I want to paste the image. Great. So now let's rename it dashboard preview.png, and that should be what we need, right? So let us see here. Dashboard preview source, which is coming, pretty sure. Yep, image assets dashboard preview.png. Thank you for the instructions. So let's hit keep and see if we have any errors on our page or the image is showing. Look at that! It's our dashboard preview. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you're impressed, but I'm absolutely impressed. We're building this landing page pretty quickly and it's actually following it step by step. So I wonder if I can add these two sections at the same time. Let's give it a go. So that was really good. I really like that response because it gave us direct instructions and to save the image because I completely forgot to save the image. How many times have that happened where you're trying to load an image, but it's not saved? And you're like, why isn't my image rendering? ¿Por qué it's not there? All right, so let's add the next two sections. Let's see if we can add these two sections, right? So, all right, we don't need it to be so wide. So add these two sections. I don't typically like to prompt LLMs like this. I like to, or have Copilot like this. I like to give it one step at a time, but let's see what we get. So this is the trusted by developers and the try it yourself section. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to say now add the trusted by developers and try it yourself or try yourself sections per the design to the landing page. Alrighty. Again, getting these instructions to make sure that it's following. And you can add your own instructions just like I did. Get GitHub Copilot on github.com to give you a description of a project that you want to build and say, help me craft a PRD for this, for the MVP, and then say, help me craft a Copilot instruction document that I can pop into my code editor. And you go from there. And if you need to update the instructions file, do that. Don't overcomplicate it. Make sure if you're not building like a side project, demo project like I am right now, make sure you're following your company's standards, of course. But this tool is here to make you go so much faster. Let's see. I'll help you create 2 new components for the Trusted by Developers WordWow section and Try It Yourself section. Amazing. So now we have Trusted by Devs. I really like how organized the code is. It's very readable. And then the Try It Yourself section. And then I like that it always, let me check for any errors in our newly added components. Trusted by Dev, a 3-column grid already. You'll need to add actual company logos and profile pictures to complete these sections. All right, I don't have those assets at all. And I don't think I'm not going to find those assets. But so these are just placeholders. Once we upload our images, we will have those showing. And then once we upload logos of companies, then we will have those logos showing right there. And if we look at the design, it's pretty much identical, right? You see it. I know you see what I'm seeing. This is amazing. And then the Try It Yourself section, this is what GitHub Copilot created. This is not the design. This is the design. And this is what it created. I am amazed, all right? I'm not going to do this section because I feel like this is an overkill and it's also incomplete. So I'm going to finish with ready to supercharge and also this footer. So again, I'm going to do these 2 sections and we're going to skip that integrate with your favorite tools section for now and just finish with a footer. Did we commit our changes? I don't believe we did. So let's pop this here in the context window and let's commit. Let's stage and commit. All right. So now we're going to add these last 2 sections. I don't remember what they're called. So supercharge, API dev, and the footer. All right. So now add the last 2 sections to our landing page, the API dev section, and the global footer. Let me put that in the global footer based on the design. Alrighty. So we're actually almost finished and you can see how these components are nicely organized. It's very readable. I can come in here and know exactly what's going on. Nothing too complicated is going on here. So call to action component, you see that? So I said to do the API dev section and it says, oh, it's a call to action. This means that it's really understanding the context from the images. So here we have a CTA section. And now it's creating a footer component with documentation and community links. Thank you. Here's the footer component. Quick start, documentation, and I love it. I love the data structure that the data structures it's choosing to use here. Very good. This is exactly how I would have done it. Discord, it's linking to a community Discord. It's grabbing so much context from the image in order to generate the dummy text or the placeholder text for our site. So I'm going to hit keep and let's see the final 2 sections of our website. And there we have it, folks. We just built this landing page. It's been about 30 minutes here on my time with GitHub Copilot, and it added this 2025 dev flow, all rights reserved. Perfect, because that was not here, but perfect. I'm in love. I cannot begin to tell you. And so now you can go in and you can take a screenshot of the hero section and say, can you add an image? Let's actually do that. So I'm going to take a screenshot of the hero section so that it can update it and just to see what it will do, right? Just to see what it will do. A side-by-side image. Even though I do like what we have, I don't mind it. It's good. It's very good. Stage and commit. All right, so I want to say now let's update the hero section to close to match the design more closely. There is a editor to the right and the hero text on the left. Please update to reflect this. So where's the hero component? Oh, here we go. Yep, split layout, exactly. So it's currently checking the hero. It's working. And honestly, once this hero section is updated, I'm going to end the video because it's been a success. And from here, we can deploy it to Netlify. I will add the deployed link in the description and also the repository in the description. So looks like it made some changes. Good. I was waiting to see if it would notice that there are some TypeScript errors, and it did. So it's actually checking its work. Amazing. It found 5 problems and it checked it, and now it resolved it. So now it's checking again. I believe they're all resolved. So I'm not seeing any other indication from VS Code. Good job. Thank you. And let's see what we have. Look at that. A round of applause, people. A round of applause for GitHub Copilot, because we just built this beautiful landing page in a few minutes with our dashboard display with GitHub Copilot. And it's beautiful. So now I can go in and add these logos, and maybe I'll add the logos before I push it, or maybe I won't add the logos. If you want to add the logos, please open up a pull request to add logos and to add images like people's faces. So try it out yourself. Launch interactive demo. If you also want to create an interactive demo on the landing page, feel free to do so. Make it actually usable. Create an example page, testimonial, docs. Docs is going to ask your docs. That's cute. But there you have it, folks. This is how you can build a landing page with GitHub Copilot using just your design. And you can create your designs using Claude artifacts, and you can create your PRDs and Copilot instructions using Copilot on github.com. It's a new age, folks. It is a brand new day. And don't forget, the biggest thing to take away from this video is to stage and commit. All right, bye. Before we completely wrap up, let's actually update the README. So let's close all these files that we have for our dear landing page, and let's open up the README, right? And we're going to say update the README to reflect the current project. And it's going to go in and update the README for us. And of course, the next step is to deploy, so we can actually implement GitHub actions to get a CI/CD process going. You can add unit tests to make sure that your components are doing what they need to do. Are they responsive? Are they accessible? And all that jazz. But for now, this is how you can go from design to code with GitHub Copilot. I had a great time, and now it's updating our documentation here. Look at this beautiful project structure going, features, commands. This is looking good. So they're getting started. Let's see. Project overview, tech stack, project structure, features, commands. Quick start. Exactly what we need for this open source repository. Open your browser. So it's getting the browser context from our terminal, actually. 4321. Exactly. There you go. Component-based architecture, MIT license, all that jazz. It's beautiful. And so go forth and build, people. Go forth and build. Take care.